What is going on, Flex Zone family? It's your boy, God's favorite host, the host with the moist, back here on the Flex Zone podcast, only place giving you your sports how you want it, when you need it. Back here with another video. But first and foremost, happy Tuesday to you, wherever you may be. Thank you for watching this video. We appreciate you on the Flex Zone podcast. You guys already know the drill. You know the vibes. Join the family. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for all notifications. And of course, hit that thumbs up. Helps out the channel tremendously. And we got a big topic we're talking about today. Follow us on all our social media platforms, the Flex Zone One, and now on TikTok, the Flex Zone Podcast. And if you'd like to donate, hashtag the Flex Zone One. Want to give a big shout out again to Engraven for joining us last night for episode 350 on the Flex Zone Podcast. An amazing episode. And to you for tuning in, commenting, chiming in on the conversation. We ranked our top 10 quarterbacks as well. He talked about the state of the Ravens, the Lamar Jackson contract situation, and the 2022 season outlook as we head into training camp next week. But I wanted to make this video today to kind of talk about a position battle, a position group that I'm really going to be watching in training camp. It's arguably the thinnest position on the team. We know they have a lot of depth at defensive back, a lot of depth at the offensive line. It seems like a lot of depth at running back, even depth at tight end. But when it comes to the wide receiver position for the Baltimore Ravens, it'll be intriguing to see if they decide to do what they normally do, and that's sign a receiver off of the scrap heap, off of the coupons that they like to use going into training camp after the compensation draft pick period is over, after the free agency period has kind of died down, and get a veteran receiver, which we've seen them do multiple times over the past 3 or 4 years. Now, it'll be interesting to see, as I said, of all those guys who are left, I brought them up here for you guys to look at them with me. Wide receivers, who do you guys want? Who would you guys like to see the Ravens possibly sign? Now, currently, we know they traded away Marquise Brown. Hollywood is in Arizona. So we're looking at Rashad Bateman, who is my early prediction to be breakout Raven of the year, especially at the wide receiver position. Rashad Bateman, Devin Duvernay, James Prochet, Tylan Wallace are pretty much your guys going into camp as the guys you expect to contribute at the wide receiver position. Obviously, Prochet, Wallace, pretty much unproven for the most part. Not really given a lot of opportunities, as we know, but only way for guys to prove themselves, as Engraven said last night, is to prove themselves by making plays on the field in big-time game situations when it counts. Obviously with the practices and training camp, but obviously in preseason as well, you got to jump out and make plays. But when it counts the most going into this season, they have to show up. And it'll be interesting to see what they do with these receivers. Are they going to just do the same old Greg Roman offense, the same basic, simple routes, simple patterns, predictable play calls? Are these guys going to be just glorified blockers, just running just to clear out space to run the football? I don't know. But I got this list of receivers up here, and I just want to get your opinion, guys. I'm going to talk about some of them and see if they would be a fit for the Ravens and if the Ravens would take a swing at them. Obviously, at the top of the list is Julio Jones. He's a Hall of Fame receiver. But as Engraven said last night, you would have to have a sponsorship with Dole. You would need plenty of bananas. Julio Jones is injury prone. And after last season, I don't think the Ravens want to get a guy who had trouble not only playing 16 games, but would have trouble playing 17 games as well. Julio Jones, could he come in and play 8, 9, 10 games for you and make some sort of an impact? I think he could. And do I think he's an underrated blocker? I think that's one of the most underrated aspects of his game and his greatness is that he is a fantastic blocker. But I think Julio Jones, if he comes to Baltimore, he wouldn't play enough games to, in my opinion, put the risk out there for the reward, personally. I think Julio Jones is probably better suited going to maybe a Green Bay, helping out Aaron Rodgers. But if he's not going to be able to play at least more than 12 games, I can't count on Julio each and every week. Yeah, he's great, but he's 33 and he's not getting any younger. Next guy, Will Fuller. I like Will Fuller. He's only 28, but he's also injury prone. He had the PED situation as well last season. He's a big-time home run hitter and can definitely take the top off of the defense, much like we saw with Hollywood Brown. But the Ravens don't throw it deep. Not saying Lamar's incapable, but they don't draw up plays to take advantage of the mismatches and throw those deep passes sometimes. We saw it in 2019, but we really didn't see it the past 2 years like that. So I think Will Fuller would be potential, but he's another guy who's probably going to miss between 6 and 8 games a year. So really, he's just a younger Julio, in my opinion, because he's going to make plays when he's on the field, but he's not going to play more than 10 to 12 games. And the best ability is availability. T.Y. Hilton, we took a swing on him last year. It didn't work out. I really didn't care too much for him anyway, and he's not very big. I think the Ravens need a bigger body receiver for Lamar, big target, a big catch radius, a bigger red zone target to go with Mark Andrews and Bateman. But he's 32. I think he is on the last legs of his career. I don't want T.Y. Hilton. Nothing against him, but I think if anything, he would be good going back to the Colts. But I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I might take this next guy, Cole Beasley, over T.Y. Hilton, in my opinion, because of what Cole Beasley can do inside the numbers. With the slot, you could put possibly Duvernay or Prochet on the outside with Bateman and have Cole Beasley work the inside. But Cole Beasley, again, another smaller receiver. Him and T.Y. Hilton pretty much the same size. Beasley probably a little bit smaller. He showed up in Buffalo times last year, but the offense is completely different. I'm probably going to pass on Cole Beasley personally as well. Emmanuel Sanders is 35, another smaller slot type guy. Probably on the last legs of his career if he does get signed. What was in Buffalo last year. I don't really think there's much left in the tank for him, honestly, either. We got Allen Hurns. Don't really see much left in the tank for him. He had maybe a flash in the pan in Jacksonville one year and then kind of fell off the face of the earth, had a bad injury. Desean Jackson, he's probably done. His speed is dwindled. Yeah, he made some plays last year for Vegas, but he gets hurt too. And he's probably not what he once was, obviously. You got Danny Amendola. No, I'm good. Tom Brady isn't the quarterback, so I don't want Amendola. We have Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham is a guy who's hurt right now, currently recovering from an injury. He has a flair for the dramatics, but he's also a big play guy who can catch it inside, outside, make deep passes, complete them, do things in the reverse game. He's a good blocker, I think, good enough as well. But I don't think he's going back. If he's going back anyway, he's going back to the Rams if he plays this year. Adam Humphries, don't have any faith in what he did. D.D. Westbrook, I know I skipped over a name. I'll get to him in a second. D.D. Westbrook, nothing really to speak of resume. Mohamed Sanu is intriguing. He is 32 years of age. He's not a burner. He's not a guy who gets big separation. But could he come in here for a low risk, high reward situation and be that big body, high catch radius, red zone target, big time blocker? He's a big guy, as I mentioned. The Ravens aren't going to spend big money. Whoever they sign is going to be a 1 year deal, invite to camp, much like we saw with Sammy Watkins last year. Sammy Watkins now in Green Bay. Would we go take a swing on a Mohamed Sanu? Is Sammy Watkins better than Mohamed Sanu, or is it pretty much a wash where they're pretty much the same receiver? Bigger body guy. Sammy Watkins probably has more separation, more speed, but he's more of an injury-prone guy. Sanu has battled some injuries later in his career as well. Wasn't really anything since he got traded from the Falcons to the Patriots. He was with San Francisco last year. I don't know. Maybe if any of these guys personally, Mohamed Sanu seems like a guy the Ravens would take a swing on. Could be a low risk, decent reward type of guy, which we saw with them bringing in kind of Dez Bryant, but that didn't really work out well because he was on his last leg. Sanu's probably on his last leg, if anything. May be able to give you some type of impact, but probably could come in and give you some plays here and there, but he wouldn't be no better than who we've had. Seth Roberts, having, of course, Dez Bryant, having Sammy Watkins, some of those receivers. I really don't see much difference in that either. So, like I said, Julio, Will Fuller. If Odell was healthy, though, I would really think about Odell. Now, I think Odell would be back with the Rams if he was healthy, and I think that's where he will eventually wind up. Maybe midway through the season if he comes back around October, November, going into that deep playoff run that the Rams are looking to do as repeating Super Bowl champions potentially. But Will Fuller would be an interesting prospect. He's a bigger body guy. Hollywood was a smaller guy. He's a bigger body guy, but he does get hurt. I like Will Fuller a lot. I possibly would say maybe take a swing at Will Fuller if the medical checks out, if he's 100%. Yeah, he may miss some time, but what the Ravens need most is a guy that in crunch time can go make plays for them. I think Julio is probably going to price himself out of coming to Baltimore. We're probably not going to pay what he wants. And I think that could be a situation where we know the Ravens obviously still have to take care of Lamar Jackson eventually and some other guys coming up. But I don't see Julio. I could see Will Fuller. We tried T.Y. Hilton. That didn't work out. Cole Beasley is too small probably. Emmanuel Sanders is probably too small. He's done. As I said, Hurns, Jackson, Amendola. Odell, if he was healthy, I would want, but he'd probably be with the Rams. And I don't know. Is another option, though. Flex on family. A trade, we talked about this last night. Could a DK Metcalf be a possible trade option? We saw the Eagles go get AJ Brown, giving up a first round pick. The Ravens, we know they love their draft picks. Do they take a flyer and maybe go get a DK Metcalf? But the only thing with the DK Metcalf situation, he's going to be due a big contract soon. Who else is due a big contract soon? Lamar Jackson. So I don't see the Ravens, one, paying a wide receiver big buku top 5, top 10 money at their position, and then also paying Lamar Jackson possibly over 200 plus million guaranteed as well, and being basically your whole cap situation on offense, wide receiver and quarterback. And DK would be perfect in this offense. He's big, strong, has speed, can create separation, straight in the red zone, can block, can make those spectacular juggling, leaping catches, those high catch radius passes that are not thrown correctly all the time. Now, he will have some drops occasionally, but every receiver drops the ball. And I think DK is underrated in his ability to catch the football. He was maligned for it coming out, but I think he's done a good job getting better. But DK possibly for a first round pick, I would make that move if I'm the Ravens, but you got to pay him. So I don't know. Could we get Tyler Lockett, his teammate, maybe? Possibly, but he just signed a new deal, I believe, not too long ago as well. So Lockett may not be an option either. But hey, maybe a trade is the best route because if they could legitimately upgrade the receiver position by getting a DK Metcalf, maybe getting something out of Will Fuller, or even hell, if they want to take a fly on Julio Jones and say, why not? Let's go all in. Or if Odell somehow proves himself healthy and the Ravens can sneak in and get him and he can contribute in the second half of the season, why not? Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the wide receiver position. Is it the thinnest position on this team? Is it the thinnest position on offense? I think we know that. I think it's a close race between wide receiver and outside linebacker, but reports are Tyus Bowser may be ready for the start of the season. Unfortunately, we lost Jalen Ferguson. We know Ajabo will start the season and probably won't play until the end of the season, but you got Ajabo coming back. Owe going into year 2. He looks healthy. Bowser will be coming back from injury as well. So it probably is wide receiver because you have mainly unproven guys. Owe got you 5 sacks. Bowser, we know what he can do getting sacks and playing well in coverage. And Ajabo, we saw what he did at Michigan as well. But the wide receiver route, is it best to sign a Will Fuller, a Julio Jones? Do we take a second flyer on T.Y. Hilton? Do we go reach into the annals of taking a shot on an Odell Beckham? I don't know if Odell fits in his locker room, but Odell proved last year he can play winning football and be in a winning locker room as he was with the Rams. But is it the trade route? Do we go get DK Metcalf? But do you pay DK Metcalf as well? Because he's going to be looking for a contract at the same time as Lamar Jackson. And if Lamar Jackson plays the way we think and the way we've been talking about as he's looked into working out, it's going to cost Steve Bisciotti a lot of money. And he's going to have to open up that checkbook. No coupons, checkbooks only. But let me know in the comments, guys, what you guys think about the Baltimore Ravens wide receiver position. Do you want to sign any of these guys? Do you think any of these guys would be a good fit? We know the Ravens don't spend a lot of money at the wide receiver position. Wide receivers obviously aren't enamoring themselves to come to Baltimore because of the type of offense we run. That relies on Greg Roman, obviously, as well. But do one of these unproven guys, we heard you last night talking about Prochet. We like Duvernay. Wallace, does he show us something? I don't know. Duvernay was good on special teams, but is he going to step up? Is he going to be more implemented into the offense as is Prochet and Wallace? But let me know, guys, in the comments. Let me know. Please, please, please drop a like. Hit that thumbs up. Helps us out tremendously if you like what you heard. Of course, hit that bell for all notifications to know when we're live, to know when new videos drop, and new content comes to you first and foremost. As always, hit that subscribe button. Join the family. It's free. A lot of things in life aren't free, but this is. And to join this family costs you nothing. $0.00. I'm God's favorite host, the host of the Moist BKD on the Flex On Podcast. Only place giving you your sports how you want it, when you need it. As I said, stay tuned. More content coming this week. Let us know your thoughts in the comments about the wide receiver room. Who you think might break out, obviously, outside of Rashad Bateman. If you think it's Rashad Bateman, put that in the comments as well. Do the Ravens sign maybe a sneaky guy like a Mohamed Sanu? Do they take a fly on T.Y. Hilton again? Do they go for the big swing with Julio Jones, Will Fuller, or maybe Odell Beckham Jr.? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. There are a lot of options they could go. Like I said, Sanu could be a sneaky, low risk, medium reward guy. Julio could be low risk, high reward as well. Could be Will Fuller or Odell if he's healthy as well, as I mentioned. But hey, that's what we're here for. Let me know in the comments. We'll talk about it. We'll debate about it. And if you want to know more, I'll do more videos on this as well. I'll be breaking down the Ravens positions as well, coming up real soon as we hit the training camp, breaking down each position group and kind of ranking them and what I think I can see for them this upcoming season. But until next time, y'all, follow us at the Flex On One and on TikTok, the Flex On Podcast. Donate cash, tag the Flex on One on Cash App as well. I'm going to get out of here, y'all. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for all notifications. And until next time, y'all, peace.